Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 7044 Northeast Rodney Court here in Portland. We are located at the, very close to the front of the house. We're just around the front, on the front left corner of the home here. If you lose track of this clean out, it's buried a little bit. It is smack dab right up against this piece of PVC pipe. We have a 4-inch ABS clean out. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water currently running, and we'll zero out the foot counter at the base of the clean out. All those little stringy things up at the top of the pipe there are just cobwebs. Those aren't roots. More cobwebs there. Line transitions here to 6-inch. And that may actually still be 4-inch pipe. It's 30-34. I actually think we're still in 4-inch diameter pipe here. We'll take a second look when we come out and the water's drained out. Going into a belly, which again we'll look at when the line's drained off at the end. We have 2 sinks running right now, so any water we see is going to be exaggerated. And then we just transitioned into concrete pipe. This is the old concrete stub for whatever home used to reside in this location. That's why you've got old pipe here on a new home. There's the main there at 51 feet. We're going to go do some locating. In fact, I'm going to pull back to the transition joint from the green PVC to concrete, and we'll locate there. That'll tell us where the line terminates at, and whether or not any of this old concrete is still on property. I believe this actually did transition to 6-inch. At least at the concrete lines of this age are always 6-inch concrete out in the street. I just took a locate here. We're just beyond the street curb going out to Northeast Rodney Court. And so the updated pipe here with the belly in it does extend about a foot or so into the roadway. I put an X marking out there where that's at. And so in the midst of the belly here, you're working with around 2 inches of standing water. And where I typically start recommending repairs on bellies is once there's around 1 inch of water. So this is somewhere between 1.5 inches to 2 inches. The line is roughly half full here all the time. So when it gets to this point, I am going to recommend a repair on it. However, this line is still functioning. It's draining slower than it should. It's that slower drain that can lead to buildup potentially. You've got some grease buildup on the sidewalls here. So if repairs aren't done, I would at least clean the line, get the grease buildup out of it. And then if you're going to live with the belly, just make sure you're not putting anything down the line that shouldn't be going down there. You kind of want to treat these a little bit like a septic system. Don't put anything but toilet paper and human waste down the toilet. And obviously keep things like paper towels, flushable wipes, tampons, stuff like that out of the sewer line. All those latter items I just mentioned there will hang up in the belly and they will not break down on their own. And so they're far more likely to actually cause a blockage. But as this sits right now, looking at the top of the pipe, there is no debris deposits that does not have ever occurred, or I'm sorry, it does not appear to have ever blocked or backed up. That doesn't mean it's not possible, but there's enough standing water here that you could feasibly get a blockage with just regular toilet paper. The scenarios where I see a belly like this, given its distance from the home, causing a problem, is if you've either got a lot of people in the house or a lot of stuff going down the line, like balled up toilet paper, stuff like that, which you know, it's toilet paper, but if you ball it up, those items have a lot harder time getting through a belly like this. It does appear that it's conveying sewage reasonably. But anyhow, there is enough water here to potentially cause a blockage, and then so I'm going to recommend a repair here. If repairs are not done, once again, clean the line out, rescope it to show the work, and then if this household is going from a small household to a large one, you know, 2 adults to 2 adults and 3 kids, I would rescope the line at the 1 year mark. That's going to give you a baseline, and I would clean it first, but rescope about a year later, and that's going to give you a baseline for how the belly is handling your living habits. Every household lives very different from one another, so a belly can be no problem for somebody, and it can be a different kind of issue for somebody else, depending on how much stuff's going down the line and how often. All right, I just mapped the belly out with white paint. You'll see that extending from the sidewalk, right around the middle of the sidewalk, out into the roadway. And depth-wise, I'm getting between 6'4" and 6'8" deep here. And based on the debris deposits I see in the line, you've got some grease and sludge in the flow line. This line has not been cleaned for the purposes of the sale. Otherwise, absolutely nothing would be in here. The reason that's important, some people will clean their line up to make a belly look less hazardous, you know, during the sale of a home. Just based on the debris that's in here, that tells me this line is never blocked. I'm going back to that reiteration that this line has not had a backup at this point in time. So if you're going to live with the belly, just make sure you're being mindful of what's going down the line. Try not to put grease, paper towels, flushable wipes are terrible. Do not use those things. But all those other items there will not break down if they get hung up in the belly and are far more likely to cause buildup and a blockage. And as far as toilet paper goes, ideally you fold it, don't ball it up. That will travel through the line much nicer. All right, we're going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line. Other than the belly there, and of which about 85% of it is on property. You've got about a foot of that into the roadway, which technically is city responsibility. I can promise you they will not help you repair it, so you will have to take that repair into the roadway, about a foot, foot and a half, something like that. And if you decide to do any repair work, make sure a rescope is done to check the work, and if any drain cleaning work is done, also rescope the line to show the work there as well. But aside from the belly, the rest of the line there is in good condition. And condition-wise, the belly is not damaged, beat-up pipe. The pipe material there is still in good shape. It's just settled. But aside from that area, the rest of the line has proper flow and is in good condition on property. Overall, the line is functioning, but it's draining slower than it should due to the belly.